Hello and welcome to the FPL Mates podcast. We're back again for another episode for Game Week 3 now. So we're really getting through the game weeks. I think this is episode number 4 or number 4. So we're going well. We're still going, and there's going to be a couple of changes to this podcast, which I do want to quickly talk about because there have been a few comments, people saying there's not really enough FPL talk in these podcast videos. I do want to say that this weekly video, is going to be a little bit different from the others, where it's going to be a little bit more casual each week. We're going to talk a little bit more generally about general stuff around the FPL world. We're going to do some games. We're going to have a look at the teams of the guests and kind of have a look and see. Talk a little bit of tactics in FPL kind of at the end of the video. So we're going to be talking about a broad range of things. It's not going to be full on FPL, hardcore FPL anyway. So if you're not into this, completely understand. Plenty of other videos on my channel that are just hardcore FPL stuff. But hopefully, if you do like this kind of stuff, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe. This, that, and the other. I'll really appreciate that. But without me waffling on too much, I think we need to bring in our guest today, someone who I've been working with quite closely recently and I've got to know quite well, and he's an absolutely lovely bloke and a very, very good FPL player as well, which always helps in these kinds of videos, I suppose. So, introducing to the FPL Mates podcast, Wes FPL Heisenberg. How are you doing today, Wes?
Yeah, all good, mate. Cheers for having me on this. Like you said, we've got to know each other pretty well over the last couple of weeks, haven't we? Because we've been doing some videos together on another channel, but yeah, really happy to jump on here today and have a chat with you.
Yeah, just talk about random stuff about FPL and stuff. But first, I think we should introduce you because I guess you've primarily grown in the community through Twitter, which is kind of a little bit different from YouTube. And maybe some people watching this video are like really engaged in FPL Twitter. Maybe some people aren't so engaged in FPL Twitter. I know I'm pretty engaged, but you definitely are. So how long have you been in FPL Twitter in that world?
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Because we've both kind of gone different ways into the FPL world. You've done it mainly through YouTube, also building up your Twitter at the same time. But yeah, I had a Twitter account. If you look on it, it will say like I joined in 2015 or something. But I turned an old account into FPL Heisenberg essentially. In the summer of 2017. So yeah, I've been doing it since August 2017. So what's that, 4 years now?
4 years.
Yeah, and again, at first it was everyone starts on 0 followers and you kind of try and got to build yourself up and get content out there and make, I guess I would call them friendships with other FPL accounts. Obviously, I guess it's modern friendships where it is, you meet people online, but you do gel with certain people and chat with them in sort of more offline spaces, and even meet them in, they organise meetups in London, other places. So in general, just built up on there, posted content on there, etc., and have just built that up and hopefully keep going there.
Nice. Yeah, and what are you on? You're almost on 50,000 followers now?
Yeah, I think it's around 48,000. So the followers have jumped up quite a lot. And yeah, so hopefully 50k will be a nice target to hit. It's seen a lot of growth in this last sort of 30 days or so with the sort of start of the season. Obviously, I guess it's maybe similar to your stuff. I don't know, where you don't really see that many subscribers during the summer holidays because, who's looking for FPL content at that time. But obviously once pre-season's ramping up, it goes a bit crazy.
Yeah, I think everyone's found that, and like anyone who does want to get involved, whether it's FPL Twitter, FPL YouTube, definitely the best time to start is like when pre-season gets really exciting, and then the first couple of game weeks. That's when you grow like massively.
Yeah,
like overnight almost. But you really have grown so much so that you are now full-time FPL stuff as of, was it last summer?
That's right. Yeah,
fully FPL.
Fully FPL, yeah. So with COVID and that sort of thing, and I had a job I was like working in the bank for like 4 or 5 years. That was part of a contract that was kind of coming to an end anyway. So I left that job, started something else, but I was like not really into it. And I was at a point with my Twitter and some other work that I've got through. We're going to chat a bit more about Fantasy Football Hub, aren't we? So I was getting work in helping those guys out of Fantasy Football Hub and some other things that I thought, I could possibly make this work. And the thing that it's all about personal circumstances. So, not to dwell on too much about my personal life, but my missus was just, we had 2 young kids. She wasn't earning much money, but she was about to start going back to work from like from sort of maternity pay to like nothing to then like upping her work to like 4 days a week and a pay rise and stuff like that. So I didn't have to be the main sort of breadwinner in that regard, so I could take that sort of gamble. You know, if we had say a third kid on the way at that point, then it wouldn't have been feasible for me to take that leap. So it is definitely something that I'd advise sort of caution behind, without being too negative or anything like that, because it has, you know, it's worked out for us too. So it's definitely possible, but you just got to weigh up your own personal circumstances, really.
Yeah, it's really scary as well going for it. I don't know if you felt the same, like making that jump. Is it going to pay out? Is it not? Am I going to be able to pay the bills?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I had those. Luckily, I'm sort of stupidly fearless in certain things like that. Like I've had when I got my first house, when we moved into our first house together, like just at that, this was like 5 odd years ago now. I actually quit my job like 2 weeks before moving in. We're just basically
God.
We're about to take on a mortgage, and basically it was like temping on like minimum wage, but then luckily it just worked out. So yeah, I'm kind of, if I feel like unhappy in a job or if I don't want to do something, I won't feel like I have to do that. I will take that sort of gamble, I guess, wrongly or rightly.
Yeah. No, I guess that does play a big factor, because one of the main reasons why I was throwing myself into YouTube so much, and just with that aim of going full time and doing FPL stuff, whether that's on YouTube or whatever, was because I just didn't really, I didn't like my job anymore. I'd sort of been there for 5.5 years. I think that you have to have some kind of motivation like that if you're gonna make the leap, or be like naturally and like a natural risk taker, like perhaps you say that you are.
I agree. Yeah, and I've got mad respect for you guys on YouTube doing it as well. YouTube's not something that I've been, I haven't got my own channel really. I've got one that I sign into, but I don't post videos. But yeah, I jump on Hub's channel and do some videos with yourself and some others, and I do enjoy doing it. But yeah, I don't have to do all the editing and all that stuff that you do. So yeah, a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the jobs are different in different ways. At the end of the day, you've been sort of growing your Twitter audience for, well, you said 5 years. 4 years, sorry. That's terrible maths.
Yes, four, yeah.
So, and some people commented, like, when I went full time on YouTube, they said, well, you know, yes, you think it's happened to you really quickly, because I only had this YouTube channel for like a year before I went full time with it.
Yeah.
But really, I've been sort of making YouTube videos on various different accounts, learning graphic design, and you know, I was making YouTube videos before there was YouTube. I used to invite my friends around to look at videos I made just on my computer. I didn't have the internet at the time, I don't think.
Yeah.
So you know, you put the miles in
exactly.
before you make any money, before you even have the opportunity to make the job, and it pays off.
100%. And like with yourself, like you just said, there is all that sort of. Hold on a second. I don't know if you're going to leave this in or edit it out, but my dog's just moaning outside the kitchen. Hold on.
No, that's absolutely fine. I'm sure a lot of viewers have dogs they can sympathise.
Apologies, but that was just gone on all video.
That's no problem. That's no problem. Luckily, we're not doing it live, so I can cut a little bit of that out.
But yeah, I'll jump back into what you were saying. Yeah, it's a really good point about putting in the hard miles. And even for myself, I had like I said, people see FPL Heisberg with a lot of followers now, but I was an account that, you know, I couldn't think of a good name. I like Heisberg now, but at the start it was just like FPL Wes, which is obviously my real name, and just had like a picture of a footballer, I think. And it was just nothing. And at that point, I was still, you know, learning, so I was more just sort of following the likes of FPL General and a few of the other guys who were already on there. So I was more of a kind of a lurker and just consuming content at that point before moving into creating it. And before building, and if you are thinking to yourself, I want, you know, you've seen these guys full time in fantasy football, and it all sounds like perfect and easy or whatever, it's definitely not that. And in fact, I did it at the start with no intention of it ever being a full time job, because back in 2017, you know, that didn't really seem realistic to me. I did it as a hobby. I'm just obsessed with FPL. I had an alright history at that point that's got better, so I felt like I could offer, you know, my opinion maybe held some weight because I have a decent record. So, you know, I kind of played off that. I was kind of saying, look guys, I'm decent at the game, and here's my opinion, that sort of thing. So it is about putting in those hard miles, and I wouldn't set out and do this if you think that you're going to get a full-time income for it. Do it if you love it.
Yeah.
And if at one point, you know, you're not going to make money in the first, well, maybe you can, maybe some people can, but for me, I didn't make any money for years really. And then I started building up some income streams, and that's when I thought I could go into it full-time. But yeah, I definitely didn't do it with that intention. I did it as a passion, as a hobby, and I've been lucky that I've had some breaks along the way, and that's made it possible.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point. And there's so many people who, like, I mean, I don't want to be negative about it and say it's impossible, because it's so possible to make it in any way you want to go in terms of content creation, as long as you're happy to put the work and the time in. But I've sort of had people sort of messaging me and sort of saying, "Oh, I've been doing this YouTube thing for weeks now. How come I haven't got thousands of subscribers?" And it's sort of like, well, Rome isn't built in a day. You know, if it's your first ever YouTube channel, it's not just gonna happen. You do sort of have to put in a bit of a graft. I think, you know, it took me maybe, I don't know, 6 months before I got my first 1,000 subscribers. You know, you really just have to keep, and then it's, you know, 6 months of putting multiple videos out, all like every week, you know, 3-4 videos a week for months and months and months and months before you see any sort of recognition. You kind of have to do it for the love of it, in a way.
Exactly, yeah, and that translates exactly to, because obviously I'm coming at it from like a Twitter angle, and it's the same sort of thing. You have to put tweets out there that get barely any engagement. You have to start off with 0 followers and grow slowly, essentially, because, you know, when you are a small account, you don't come up in searches, whereas probably now, if you typed an FPL into the search engine, you know, there's a good chance that, you know, myself and other big accounts like FPL Gen will pop up straight away, or in those, you know, suggestions to follow, stuff like that. I'm probably up there in the search algorithm stuff. And same with you on YouTube now. You type FPL in, and it's probably yourself and Andy from Let's Talk FPL who are kind of in those top searches. So, you know, you snowball. So you're now gaining, and myself, I gain more followers now in this pre-season than I did last year or the year before, and probably next season again I'll get more, and like that. So it's one of those. But yeah, I'm happy. You know, we're both happy in what we're doing, and we've shown it's possible. But just don't be out there thinking it's easy.
Yeah, no, yeah, like I say, just do it. If you really want to get involved. I couldn't recommend it anymore, because it's so fulfilling. But you got to do it for the love of it, really, at least at the start.
100%.
Yeah, there we go. But very quickly on, because we may as well talk about this very briefly. We do want to give a shout out, both me and Wes. We do want to give a shout out to the show that we are doing on Fantasy Football Hub's channel. You can go check that out. We're going to be doing a video every single week on that channel, and it's a Q&A video, isn't it, Wes? Yeah,
it's very good. So we're going out on Twitter from the FFH_HQ Twitter handle, asking for questions. So reply to that if you are on Twitter. We'll then obviously answer, you know, as many as we can on the video, and give you guys a shout out as well. And yeah, it's been pretty good so far, hasn't it? And we've been having some good back and forth and getting some good debates out there. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. And it's always it's always topical stuff in terms of, you know, the questions that people answer are the ones that, even if you haven't asked the question, you're probably going to want to know the answers to. So we do pick out the good topics every week.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're genuinely really good videos, and I think you guys are going to like them. So yeah, like, you know, this is not an ad or anything like that, but it would be awesome if you could go check out me and Wes's content over on the Hub channel. That would be pretty awesome, because we're working hard to try and make that a really good video, a weekly video for everyone to watch. So there you go. Right, I did promise a quiz, and nice. We are going to do one. I've come up with this morning. It's kind of similar to what I did last week, but I've adapted it. I've made it a little bit more original. I hope this is original. I hope no one else has come up with this already. But I think this is going to be fun. And what I want to do, so no pressure, Wes, but this I'm going to do with every guest from now on, and we're going to have a leaderboard of who gets the most answers right, and you're kicking it off.
Okay.
So
I'm feeling the pressure.
No pressure. Right, the game is called Play Your Points Right.
Okay.
Now, I'm hoping the name gives away a little bit of what this game is all about. But basically, I'm going to name a player, and then I'm going to tell you how many points they got in game week 2.
Okay.
And then I'm going to name another player, and you've got to tell me if they
Higher
got
or lower.
more points or exactly, higher or lower. And we're going to keep going. I've got a total of 12. So 12 is the maximum points you can get.
Okay.
You get one wrong, you're out.
You're
done.
out with one. Okay.
Yeah, you're out. Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know, if you guys are watching thinking, oh yeah, they've discussed it off air, we really haven't.
We haven't.
We've discussed nothing on this, so yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to prep for it.
Yeah.
So I didn't want you to prep.
Yeah.
But no, the first ones I've made relatively easy. Relatively easy.
Okay.
But if you get one wrong, we'll carry on playing anyway.
Okay.
Just for the fun of it. But yeah. Actually, no, we won't do if you get one wrong, you're out. We'll keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't discount you because that is a little bit harsh. Now I'm looking through this list of players that I've got. That sounds a bit harsh because if you get the first one wrong, then that's going to be pretty rubbish.
Okay, right. Is there any? There's none that are like the same, and it's always going to be a higher or lower, yeah.
Always going to be higher or lower, no sames.
Got it.
Thought that'd be a bit simpler. Right, okay. With the rules explained, let's crack on. So your first player is Robert Sanchez. He got 6 points in game week 2.
Okay.
But did Basuma get more or less points than Sanchez? Higher or lower?
Higher. He got 8 points, assist, clean sheet point, and 2 bonus.
Absolutely correct. So I knew you'd be good at this. It's some of the more casual guests that I'll have come on that might struggle a little bit. Okay, right. So that's we'll give you a point for that.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna. Oh, actually, I'm lagging a little bit. No, okay, we'll carry on. Your next player is Che Adams. More points or less points than Basuma? Higher or lower?
Less, because he only got an assist. It went down as an own goal in the end. And
yes, it was.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I could catch you out with that one.
No, got to get up earlier than that to catch me out.
All right, okay, right, fine. Fair play so far. Okay, yeah, Che Adams got 5 points. But did Mason Mount get more or less points than Che Adams? Higher or lower?
Higher. He got the assist and a clean sheet point, didn't he? So higher.
Yeah, he did. He got 6 points.
This is a great game. I love it.
Well, you're doing very well so far. All right. Next one is Dele Alli. Higher or lower?
Higher.
Easy.
Just it wasn't too much more though, I don't think, because he didn't get did he get bonus? Can't remember.
He did get bonus. Yeah, he got 9 points total.
Okay, yeah.
Right, Danny Ings, higher or lower than Dele Alli's 9 points?
Lower.
Yes, but it's tight.
8 points.
Danny's
2
got
bonus, wasn't
8
it?
points.
Yeah, Mings got the 3 bonus with 2 assists, didn't he? On a clean sheet.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, well done. I was hoping to catch you out a little bit sooner than this, to be honest. I at least wanted you to hesitate on one of the answers. But I think we've got an early leader here. Right, next one. Demarai Gray. Higher or lower than Danny Ings is 8 points.
I can't remember the bonus very well. Lower.
Yes, I've got you. I've got you.
Higher, was he?
It was higher. He got 9 points in
Yeah.
game week 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can picture that now. Yeah, I must have missed him bonus there.
Okay. Okay. So Gray got 9 points. Hugo Lloris higher or lower than 9 points?
Higher. I think he's got 2 double-digit returns in a row. Game week 1 and 2.
Actually, yes, spot on. He got 11 points. It's absolutely unreal. Lloris is just. I don't understand how he's got so many points.
I know, he's been a monster. But yeah,
Yes, it has.
he's a keeper that's never really done very well over the years, really. And he's just started the season really well, but I'm not sure if that will continue. So yeah, I'm definitely not jumping ship myself.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But yeah, still really good point scores.
Very
Right,
good,
Mason
very
Greenwood, higher or lower than Hugo Lloris?
Lower with 10 points.
Yep, you got it. Okay, Shane Duffy, higher or lower than Greenwood?
Duffy was higher, wasn't he? 14.
Yep, spot on. Gabriel Jesus, higher or lower than Duffy?
Lower. He got 2 assists. He was quite lucky not to get a couple more, I think. But yeah, I think can't remember exactly what he got. Was it 10 points maybe?
He got 11 points.
11.
Yep. Well done. And the final one is Tyrone Mings, higher or lower? And I think you already know this one.
Yeah, definitely higher. I think that was a 14 point. Was it maybe more? 15?
15 pointer.
15. Yeah, crazy. Just
Absolute craziness.
2 assists from a centre back and a clean sheet. That's not expected, is it? Really?
Yeah, there's going to be a bandwagon on that one, I think.
Yeah, maybe
a big bandwagon.
But I still think he's probably a bit overpriced at 5 million, isn't he? Because
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going there personally myself.
Yeah, but we'll let the casual players tell themselves that he's a great pick and he's going to get 2 assists every game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 10 there out of 11. I suppose it's 11 if there's 12 players.
Damn,
so 10 out of 11.
I wanted 11 there. I don't know why I forgot about Gray, but it just it threw me. Or maybe I just wanted to get I wanted to get one wrong just to make you happy, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, it did make me happy, to be fair. So you've done that for me. No, you smashed that. That is set the bar very, very high.
Good. I'll take that. 10 out of 11, not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, so we are going to have a leaderboard, and we're going to update that every week, and we'll see who knows their points the best. So far, Wes, you won't be surprised to know that you're winning.
And also, other people have now got a chance to prepare because they sort of know that they're going to get quizzed on it, whereas I came into this cold. So 10 out of 11 coming in cold is not bad.
That's not bad at all. I'll probably have to make it a little bit harder for future episodes, just in case people do try and do a bit of research as well.
Yeah.
But that's no problem. Okay, right. Well, there we go. That's the quiz out the way. Let's have a look at your team. Well, we'll have a look at your scores from game week 2 so far. There is you've still got Antonio to play.
Yeah.
But 60 points so far is pretty good. Very good, in fact.
Yeah, pretty happy with how the first couple of weeks have gone. I've got 102 in week 1, I think, and then game week 2, like I said, is 60 points. Yeah, just Antonio and Barnes to come. Hopefully, especially hoping Barnes can do something as a bit of a differential.
Oh, you've got Barnes there as well. Sorry.
Barnes and Antonio, and I think my rank is around 125, 129. I think once the auto subs are added, it's going to be 129k, which I obviously wouldn't be happy with that at the end of the season, but at this stage of the season, I'm really happy because I think last year at the end of sort of game week 4, I was somewhere 1.5 million or something like that. So I had a really bad start last year and still managed to claw it back to a top 8k. But so I'm hoping this year if I can start reasonably well and anywhere in the top sort of 500k, I'd be happy with at this stage because you can always go up the ranks with the following game week. So yeah, I'm just hoping to solidify this at this stage of the season because one bad week in game week 3, you can drop like a stone because the points difference in I've got 162 points. Drop off if you knocked 5 points off my score, I'd plummet down massively. So yeah, I'm not counting any chickens yet.
Yeah, but I would say game week 2, if you're in the top sort of 500k, then you are on for that's a really good start to have, particularly if your team is set up quite nicely and you still like your players, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be really good. But yeah, I think I started the season last year a little bit badly as well. I don't think I broke the top million until like game week 6, maybe something like that, which is really frustrating. So it's so nice that all content creators and people on Twitter and stuff like that, we all seem to be smashing it at the moment. We're all doing so well.
Yeah, it's the opposite from last year where us guys seem to be getting a battering from the casuals. So yeah, it makes a nice change starting. Well, like I say, if we can solidify those, we should be on for some good seasons. Yeah,
definitely. What are your plans for next week though? Because I'm looking at your team, and you've got Tsimikas, Firmino and Amati, 4 million defenders. They're all 4 million, aren't they? Firmino's still...
No, Firmino was 4.5 and he's been one that's... Yeah, it's frustrated me because I didn't know he was injured for these game weeks, and even in game week 2, obviously I haven't needed him because, as you can see, there's on my bench, but I would have liked him to be playing games. He was announced to be fit for game week 2 and then just wasn't in the squad, so I don't know if there's no problem there. But yeah, I'm looking very thin on the ground now. Vestergaard is injured, I think, so... What I'm hoping for is just to squeeze one more week out of Amati away at, I think it's away. It's against Norwich in game week 3 anyway, which is a good fixture. So if I can squeeze that out, but yeah, my defence is looking really weak at the minute because Tsimikas has done well, but he is going to be, Robertson's going to come back in for the Chelsea game. Liverpool's first choice left back for sure. Amati is definitely on borrowed time. Like I said, I'd be lucky if I get game week 3 out of him. And then Feminir, he's got Spurs, and he just hasn't featured game weeks 1 and 2. So. I don't want to say that was a mistake picking him, because I didn't know about his injuries, and especially with game 2. So if he can, hopefully he can come back into the squad and be a bench player for me. But yeah, I've got 2 free transfers. I'm looking at Livramento from Southampton, 4.0. Should be a better long-term pick than the 4.0 guys I have got. And I might just do that and then roll 2 free transfers for that sort of international break period. Another move I'm kind of thinking about, but I don't know if I'll do it, is I haven't really fully given up on Toney, but I do really like Calvert-Lewin. Rafa Benitez is just playing to his strengths, getting crosses in. He's looking really good, and he's now on penalties, which he wasn't on last season. So, Calvert-Lewin plus penalties is a big improvement. So I could do something like Toney to DCL and then free up 1.6 million elsewhere. But I don't really want to. I don't know who to take out to do that because I'm really happy with the rest of my squad. So I probably will just go without DCL. But yeah, I feel like DCL and Lukaku are really good options, but I just can't squeeze them into my personal team, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for your team. How you could get Toney to DCL? That's quite a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, without losing, because it would be people. If Barnes looked poor tonight, then maybe Barnes. But do I really want to take him out ahead of Norwich and replace him with? I'd only have 5.4 mil to spend, and in that price bracket, 5.4 million below and below midfielders. There's no room.
Nothing.
No, so I'd be weakening that area in my squad just to get DCL in. And like I said, I still believe in Toney. He's still on penalties. He's only had 2 games, so it's not as if I don't believe in Toney. I do obviously think DCL is a better option, but I think I'll probably just stick by Toney, use one of my free transfers to get my defence better. Livramento in for Tsimikas, for example.
Yeah.
Hopefully Tsimikas gets his price rise, so keep transferring him in, please. But yeah,
casuals, keep transferring in Tsimikas.
Yeah, get him in. He's definitely going to start. But yeah, if I can do that, then at least I've got Livramento, Shaw and Trent, who can... I think Livramento's got Newcastle this week as well, so a pretty decent fixture. He's looking fairly attacking from the Southampton Man United game.
Oh, it looks brilliant.
Yeah, so I think that will my defence will still be pretty ropey on the bench, but it will probably plug the gap for now, and then 2 free transfers the following week to maybe improve my defence again, or maybe focus my transfers in forward positions and just sort of let the defence be what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Ings to DCL looks like a good transfer in game week 4. I think that's probably what I'm thinking. I'm on the same page as you of taking out Tsimikas and putting in another 4 million. Although I think I'm going to go for Duffy to rotate with Luke Ayling, because they rotate quite nicely.
The thing is, I like Duffy. The 2 things for me is I've got Sanchez in goal. And also Duffy, I don't know, do you feel like he's nailed for the longer term then? Is he going to keep playing?
Well, yeah, a lot of people were saying no, but he got the man of the match performance in the first game week. The second game week, he I think Bissouma got the man of the match at the end. But you go on any player rating website and look at his performance as well. If you look at player ratings for that game, he is sort of head and shoulders above every other player in that Brighton team. There was lots of sort of 7.5s, and he got something like an 8.7 player rating for the second game without getting a man of the match.
Crazy.
So, he played himself back into the team? He was a mainstay in that Brighton team for years and years.
Yeah.
Has he played himself back into the team? You've got to think that maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Absolutely. I'm kind of on that same... My thought process is kind of like that. Like, how can you then drop someone who's played so well the first 2 games? So yeah, that definitely could be a move that's worth it. I just don't know. I don't know the answer yet. So if I was to go for Duffy, or when I do decide to do my transfer later on in the week of Tsimikas out for one of those guys, like you said, Duffy or Livramento, I'll just research both of them the best I can, look into as much detail as I can, and try and make the best educated. Because what FPL is kind of like an educated guess game. Like, educate yourself as much as possible, give yourself the most amount of information you can. Don't just think, Duffy scored last week, he's in, or Livramento, I've heard someone say he's good, I'll put him in. Look into it yourself, see what the managers are saying about these players. So search on Twitter for managers' quotes and stuff like that, and see what you can gather, and then make a decision. That's what I'd say to people.
Yeah, definitely. I do think if you were to do that and watch the games as well, you would prefer Livramento. I think Livramento is probably the better choice, especially in terms of he's probably going to get some game time. It's probably going to be a good long-term option. I think it's just for me personally, I would never play him. There's not because I've got Ayling who he would potentially be rotating with. There's no fixture where Livramento has a better one than Ayling, whereas
Yeah.
Duffy actually rotates really nicely if he plays. So Livramento would just sit on my bench, but if you're going to play Livramento or you want to play him sometimes, he could be a superstar in the making at 4 million.
That's a really good point that you made about it is about the context of your team. So I don't have Ayling, whereas if I did, then I'd be swaying more towards Duffy. But because I don't, and this is a player that I'd possibly have to hang my hat on longer term, that's why for my team I'm possibly favouring Livramento. But yeah, they're both good options. I think as well, as we're recording this on the sort of Monday morning, Duffy might have gone up in price to 4.1.
He has.
So that might be a little bit tricky if you've got nothing in the bank. For myself, I have got 0.5, so I should have mentioned that earlier. I could, when I was slightly off with calculations because I do have 0.5 in the bank. However, if you're considering Duffy or Livramento as we speak, Duffy's actually 4.1, which can be tricky if you haven't got money in the bank.
That's very true. That's why we need that Simicast price rise.
Yeah, and then it's a nice sideways move. Yeah, we do keep transferring him in.
So we can get rid of him. We want to take advantage of the fools.
Exactly.
Shouldn't say that, but it is kind of true.
Yeah.
But that's what consuming FPL content is all about. You're trying to get the unfair advantage, if you like, above people who just look at scores from the week rather than context and stuff like that. We're here to provide you with the context to make those good moves.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's possibly how I've done so well over the years, has been actually going that extra mile and actually putting in more research than my friends at home who don't put that in, and I beat them by doing that. So yeah, absolutely. If you're watching this video, you're obviously engaged in FPL and just go that extra mile and research both players and see what's better for your team, and nail on this, all that sort of stuff.
Here we go. That's going to be a good little title for the video, I think. Duffy versus Livramento.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people actually asked about that, which is crazy that we're talking about who the best 4 million defenders to buy are.
Yeah.
But yeah, such is the world of FPL. It's a little bit crazy sometimes, but we love it.
We do.
We love it for it. Right, Wes, I think I've taken enough of your morning up. We are going to be posting this on Monday still, hopefully before the game tonight. So it will all be current or current-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate. I loved it. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Make sure you go check out FPL Heisenberg on Twitter, and of course you can check out all the good stuff Wes is doing over on the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel as well. Some with me, some without me, but yeah, it's really good stuff on there that is going a bit crazy. It's going mad. The Fantasy Football Hub channel is smashing it on YouTube at the moment, which is so good to see. It really is. But yes, thanks again, guys, for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Hope you really enjoyed what you saw today, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.